Leave me alone. I have tried my best, but your virginity is so tight, I can't penetrate.
Please, we can try again. In the peaceful riverside village of Igbarodo, where the sun kissed the red earth every morning and palm trees danced with the wind, lived a young woman named Amara Kinechi. Amara was not just beautiful, she was unforgettable. Her smooth, dark skin glowed like polished bronze under the sun. Her long braided hair rested gently on her back, and her eyes carried a quiet fire that men forget their words when she looked their way. But what truly set Amara apart was not her beauty, it was her character.
Wait, before we continue, smash that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss amazing African folktale stories like this. Hit the like button if this story moved you. It really helps our channel grow. Comment below. Tell us where you're watching from and which part of the story touched you the most. I want to see all your thoughts. And if you're craving more African folktales, check out the Bumped app on the Play Store. Hundreds of stories waiting for you. Okay, now let's get back to the story.
She was gentle, hardworking, respectful. From dawn till dusk, Amara sat behind her loom, weaving the most breathtaking asoke wrappers the village had ever seen. Women came from neighboring towns just to buy her fabrics. Elders praised her manners. Mothers whispered to their sons, "That is the kind of woman you marry." And there was something else everyone knew about Amara. She guarded her body with pride. She believed love was sacred. Marriage came before intimacy, no shortcuts. In Igbarodo, such women were rare. Suitors came in numbers. Men brought yams, goats, fine beads, even promises of wealth. Some came with arrogance, others with desperation. Amara rejected them all politely. She wasn't looking for riches. She was waiting for love. But as seasons passed, her parents began to worry. One evening, as the cooking fire crackled, her father sighed deeply. "Amara, my daughter, beauty fades. We want to carry your children before our backs bend completely." Amara lowered her eyes, but said nothing. She did not know that fate had already begun to move, quietly, dangerously. Among Amara's many suitors was a man named Obina Dike, the son of a respected palace craftsman. Obina was skilled, confident, and carried himself like someone who always got what he wanted. Unlike others, he did not come directly to Amara. He went to her parents. His family elders followed him, carrying wine and kola nuts. Words of praise filled the compound. "Our son is serious. He will take care of her. This union will bring honor." Under pressure and respect for tradition, Amara agreed to give Obina a chance. At first, he seemed kind. He spoke softly, he admired her weaving, he praised her discipline. Soon, preparations for marriage began. But as the wedding date drew closer, Obina began to change. He grew impatient. One evening, he whispered, "We're already husband and wife in spirit. What difference does it make?" Amara refused. Again and again, she refused. Until one night, clouded by love, trust, and fear of losing him, she gave in. That night changed everything. No matter what Obina tried, nothing worked. Amara cried out in pain. Fear crept into her heart. They stopped. They tried again, and again, the same result. Obina's affection turned to anger. His voice grew cold. "Do you know why I wanted you? I wanted to be the first. That was all." Amara's heart shattered. Days later, Obina ended the engagement and told the entire village. The whispers started quietly. Then they grew louder. Men laughed. Women pointed. Children repeated words they didn't understand. Some said Amara was cursed. Others said she was not a real woman. Some even claimed she had no private part at all. Humiliated and desperate, Amara tried to prove the rumors wrong. She dated again and again. Each time, the same painful truth revealed itself. Soon, no man came anymore. The village that once admired her beauty now avoided her shadow. When Amara walked through the market, conversations died instantly. Laughter followed her steps. Her name became a joke. Her parents, broken and ashamed, took her to the village midwife. After careful examination, the woman shook her head slowly. She said, "This condition is rare. Childbirth, intimacy, they may never be possible." Every herbal remedy failed. Every prayer ended in silence. At night, Amara wept alone. But during the day, she wove. She poured her pain into fabric. Each wrapper told a story of sorrow and resilience. And unknown to her, those fabrics were about to attract a stranger, one who would change her destiny forever.
Wait! You can enjoy more stories from our Bumped app on Play Store. Go over to Play Store, search for Bumped, install the app instantly for free. Hundreds of stories waiting for you to watch absolutely for free. Or check the description of this video. The app link is there. Open it and download Bumped app instantly today. See you on Bumped.
Life slowly returned to a quiet routine for Amara Kenichi, though the ache in her heart never truly left. Each morning, she opened her small weaving shed at the edge of Igbaraudo market, arranging her fabrics carefully. Her hands moved with skill, but her eyes often drifted into emptiness. People still bought her wrappers, but few spoke to her beyond business. Then, one market day, a stranger arrived. His name was Sadi Bako, a textile trader from the distant town of Afara North, known for traveling across villages to collect rare fabrics. He was tall, calm, and carried himself without arrogance. Unlike other traders, his eyes did not roam the market carelessly. They observed. When Sadiq reached Amara's stall, he froze. He lifted one wrapper slowly, running his fingers across the fabric as if touching something sacred. "Who made this?" he asked. "I did," Amara replied softly, avoiding his gaze. Sadiq looked up, surprised. "I have traded cloth for 10 years. I have never seen work like this." For the first time in a long while, Amara smiled, a small, cautious smile. From that day, Sadiq returned often, bought her fabrics in bulk, paying fairly, never bargaining like others. Sometimes, he stayed longer than necessary, watching her weave, asking about patterns, listening to her stories. He never asked about marriage, never asked about rumors, never crossed boundaries. And that unsettled Amara more than cruelty ever had. Weeks turned into months. Sadiq and Amara became friends, genuine friends. They laughed quietly, shared meals at the market, and spoke about life beyond Igbaraldo. For the first time in her life, since her humiliation, Amara felt seen, not pitied, not judged. But friendships soon began to shift. One evening, as the sun melted into the river, Sadiq walked Amara partway home. He stopped suddenly. "Amara," his voice steady but nervous, "I need to be honest with you." Her heart tightened. "I admire you. Not just your talent, your strength, your kindness. I want to court you, if you will allow me." The words hit her like thunder. Fear rose instantly. That night, Amara did not sleep. The scars of the past screamed inside her head. Obina's laughter, the village whispers, the shame, the rejection. The next day, when Sadiq came to the market, she hid. She avoided him again the following day and the next. Sadiq noticed. Confused and hurt, he finally stood before her stall one afternoon and said gently, "If I have offended you, tell me. Silence hurts more than rejection." His sincerity broke something inside her. She asked for time. Days later, she agreed to meet him by the Omilala riverside at sunset, a place known for truth and confessions. As the sky burned orange, Amara finally spoke. She told him everything. Her condition, her humiliation, her fear of being loved and abandoned again. Tears flowed freely. Sadiq listened without interruption. When she finished, he reached for her hand. "Amara," he said quietly, "I am not here to complete you. You are already whole. If love cannot survive truth, then it was never love." For the first time, Amara felt something dangerous: hope. After the evening at Omilala River, something changed between Amara Kenechi and Sadiq Bako. It was not sudden, it was not loud. It was careful, deliberate, and deeply respectful. Sadiq did not rush her. He did not touch her in ways that made her uncomfortable, nor did he make promises he could not keep. Instead, he showed love through patience, through presence. Some days, he sat beside her weaving shed in silence, watching her hands dance across the loom. Other days, he helped her carry fabrics to the market or shared simple meals with her under the shade of the Oroko tree. For the first time in her life, Amara felt safe. She laughed again, softly at first, like someone afraid joy might disappear if it became too loud. She began to sleep peacefully. The tight knot in her chest loosened, but the village was watching. Women whispered behind her back. Men shook their heads in disbelief. Has that trader not heard the rumors? He will soon learn. Sadiq heard everything, yet he said nothing. One night, as they sat beneath the stars, Amara finally voiced the fear that haunted her. "What if one day you wake up and regret choosing me?" Sadiq turned to her and replied, "I did not choose you because of what you can give me. I chose you because of who you are." Those words settled deep in her soul. Against the expectations of Igbaraldo, Sadiq formally introduced his intentions to her parents. He paid bride price with honor. There was no celebration, only quiet shock. When the marriage happened, it was simple. No loud drums, no grand feast. Just two souls choosing each other. Their marriage was different. There was affection, companionship, laughter, shared dreams. But in the quiet moments, when Amara lay awake at night, her heart still carried a question she could not silence. What if love is not enough? Unbeknownst to her, greater trials were already gathering, not from strangers, but from family. At first, the attacks came quietly. A visit that lasted too long, a greeting that carried hidden venom, a smile that did not reach the eyes. Sadiq Bako's family never accepted Amara Kenichi. They tolerated her, nothing more. His mother, Mama Zainab, was the loudest. She watched Amara like a hawk, counting her steps, measuring her silence. One afternoon, as Amara prepared food, Mama Zainab muttered loud enough for others to hear, "A woman who cannot give birth is a borrowed wife." The words cut deep. Soon, the whispers turned into accusations. She trapped our son. She used witchcraft. She has eaten her children in the spirit world. Women from Sadiq's family visited unannounced, hurling insults, laughing cruelly, questioning her womanhood. Amara cried in silence. But whenever Sadiq returned home and saw tears in her eyes, he stood like a wall. "Anyone who disrespects my wife disrespects me." His defense only fueled their hatred. They vowed quietly, "This marriage will not last." Despite Sadiq's love, Amara began to shrink. At night, while Sadiq slept peacefully, she lay awake staring at the ceiling, battling thoughts she could not escape. What if they are right? What if one day he grows tired? What if love is not enough forever? Her deepest pain was not the insults. It was her unfulfilled desire to feel physical closeness, to give Sadiq children, to silence the voices tearing her apart. She prayed, she fasted, she wept until her eyes burned. One afternoon, alone in her weaving shop, tears rolled freely down her cheeks. That was when an old woman entered. She was bent with age, her clothes torn, her feet dusty. She moved slowly, like someone who had walked too many roads. Amara quickly wiped her tears and forced a smile. "Welcome, Mama. How may I help you?" The woman spoke softly. "My granddaughter is getting married. I want to buy a wrapper, the cheapest one." When Amara mentioned the price, the old woman's face fell. She turned to leave. "Wait," Amara called. She picked one of her finest wrappers and placed it in the woman's hands. "Take this. You don't have to pay." The old woman froze. Tears filled her eyes as she blessed Amara repeatedly. Then, just before leaving, she paused. "My daughter, I know your pain." Amara's heart skipped. "There is a forest beyond Oroko Hills," the old woman whispered. "Deep within it stands the tree of truth. It grants one wish to those who come with a pure heart, but the journey is dangerous." Hope ignited like fire. That night, Amara could barely breathe. When Sadiq returned, she told him everything. The insults, the old woman, the tree of truth. Sadiq listened quietly. "What if it is a lie?" he asked gently. "What if we don't return?" Amara held his hands tightly. "What if it is real and I do nothing?" Silence filled the room. At dawn, they made their decision. They would go together. The path to Oroko Forest was dark and heavy, the air thick with whispers. Tall, ancient trees stretched towards the sky, their roots twisting like living things. The forest felt alive. Birds screamed without warning. Shadows moved without bodies. The wind spoke in voices Amara could not understand. Sadiq squeezed her hand. "No matter what happens, do not let go." And as they stepped deeper into the forest, neither of them knew that the greatest test was yet to come. A test that would demand sacrifice, blood, and an impossible choice.
So tell me, what lessons have you actually learned? I would really love to hear your comments in the comment section down below. And remember to support this channel. Please subscribe, like the video, comment, just say something. Even a word could literally mean a whole lot. So I want you to tell me, what lessons have you learned from this story? Trust me, these are situations that most people actually go through. I want to hear how you dealt with the situation that you were faced with.
Welcome back to part 2 of the story. The deeper Amara Kenechi and Sadiq Bako walked into Oroko Forest, the heavier the air became. The sun disappeared above the thick canopy. Time itself felt confused. Every step forward sounded like it echoed from behind them. Then suddenly, light! They emerged into a wide clearing filled with golden butterflies, thousands of them floating gently in the air, glowing like sparks of fire. The sight was beautiful, almost unreal. Amara stepped forward. Instantly, the butterflies swarmed her, forming a living wall. Their wings beat violently and whispers filled the air. "Turn back. You are not worthy. You do not belong here." Fear wrapped around her chest. Her legs trembled, but Sadiq's voice cut through the noise. "Look at me," he said firmly. "Remember who you are." Amara closed her eyes and whispered, "I am more than my pain. I am more than my condition." The butterflies froze. Slowly, they parted, opening a narrow path. As the couple passed through, the light vanished, and the forest grew darker than before. The forest had accepted them for now. Not long after, a low hiss stopped them cold.
Wait! Before we continue, smash that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss amazing African folktale stories like this. Hit the like button if this story moved you. It really helps our channel grow. Comment below. Tell us where you're watching from and which part of the story touched you the most. I want to see all your thoughts. And if you're craving more African folktales, check out the Bumped app on the Play Store. Hundreds of stories waiting for you. Okay, now let's get back to the story.
From the shadows crawled a giant black serpent, its scales thick and shining like wet stone. Its eyes glowed red, filled with ancient hatred. It blocked the path completely. The ground vibrated as it moved. Amara gasped. Sadiq stepped forward instinctively, pulling out the machete he had brought for protection. "Stay behind me," he said without turning. The snake lunged. Steel clashed against scale. The sound echoed through the forest like thunder. The serpent struck again and again, faster, stronger. Then blood. The snake's fangs sank deep into Sadiq's neck. Amara screamed. With a final surge of strength, Sadiq swung the machete and split the serpent in two. The forest fell silent as the creature collapsed. But Sadiq dropped to his knees. The venom walked quickly. Amara ran to him, crying, pressing her mouth to the wound, sucking out the poison, spitting it onto the forest floor, praying desperately. "Please, don't leave me," she sobbed. Sadiq struggled to stand, leaning on her, but each step drained his strength. After a few moments, he collapsed. His breathing slowed, his eyes dimmed. With trembling hands, he whispered, "Amara, you must go on alone." Her world shattered. The forest had taken its price. With tears blinding her eyes, Amara Kenechi ran deeper into Oroko Forest, leaving Sadiq Bako lying weak behind her. Every step felt like betrayal. Branches scratched her skin, roots tripped her feet, yet she did not stop. Suddenly, the forest opened. Before her stood a glowing meadow, silent and sacred. At the center rose the tree of truth, its trunk shining like silver, its leaves sparkling like stars in the night sky. Amara fell to her knees. "Great tree," she cried, her voice shaking. "I have suffered shame, rejection, and pain. I came here to be healed, but now the man I love is dying." The ground trembled. A deep, ancient voice echoed from the tree. "You have reached the end of your trial. You may make one wish." Amara wept openly. "I wanted to be whole. I wanted to bear children, but none of that matters if I lose him." She lifted her head, determination in her eyes. "Please, save Sadiq. Heal him." The tree went silent. Then it spoke again. "Are you certain? This wish cannot be undone." "I am certain," she replied. Golden sap slowly dripped from the tree. Amara cupped her hands and drank. "So be it," the voice said. "Your wish is granted." Amara ran back through the forest with all her strength. She found Sadiq sitting upright, alive, breathing, his strength restored. She collapsed into his arms, crying uncontrollably. "You are alive! Thank the heavens!" Sadiq listened as she explained what she had done. His face changed. "You gave up your only chance," he said quietly. "You should not have done that." Without hesitation, he helped her back to the tree of truth. "Let me make a wish for her," Sadiq pleaded. The tree's voice thundered. "No one who has benefited from a wish may make another. The law is unbroken." Hope shattered. Hand in hand, they left the forest alive, together but unchanged. Amara's condition remained, yet something else had changed forever. Their love was no longer ordinary.
Wait! You can enjoy more stories from our Bumped app on Play Store. Go over to Play Store, search for Bumped, install the app instantly for free. Hundreds of stories waiting for you to watch absolutely for free. Or check the description of this video. The app link is there. Open it and download Bumped app instantly today. See you on Bumped.
When Amara and Sadiq returned home, the villagers were shocked. Rumors spread quickly. They entered the forbidden forest. They should be dead. Something must be wrong. But they were alive, stronger, closer. Though Amara's condition remained, her heart was lighter. She had chosen love over herself and she had no regrets. Sadiq held her hand proudly wherever they went. "This is my wife," he said without shame. Slowly, the same people who mocked her began to admire her courage. Her weaving business flourished again. Her designs traveled far beyond Igbara Odo. And though Amara still carried moments of fear, she now understood something powerful. Wholeness is not found in the body alone. It is found in sacrifice, love, and truth. Life returned to its slow rhythm in Ibaraudu, but peace did not come easily for Amara Kenechi. Although she and Sadiq Bako survived the forest and returned stronger in love, the whispers never truly stopped. Some villagers admired her courage, others feared her. They said, "A woman who enters the forbidden forest and returns unchanged is not ordinary." Members of Sadiq's family grew bolder in their cruelty. They accused Amara openly of hiding witchcraft, of deceiving their son, of bringing shame to their lineage. They claimed she pretended to have a condition to cover darker secrets. Each insult pierced her heart. Yet Sadiq never wavered. "Enough," he told them one evening. "If you cannot respect my wife, then stay away from my home." For the first time, Amara felt truly protected, even as loneliness crept quietly into her soul. Years passed. 2 years of marriage bound Amara and Sadiq together, not by children, but by devotion. Amara's weaving business flourished more than ever. Her wrappers traveled across villages and towns. People who once mocked her now wore her creations proudly. Yet, in quiet moments, doubt still returned. Late at night, Amara lay awake beside her husband, wondering, what if one day he regrets this life? What if love alone becomes too heavy? Sadiq sensed her fear even when she said nothing. One night, he held her close and whispered, "Do not measure our life by what we lack. Measure it by what we have survived." Those words settled deeply in her heart. Amara realized something profound. She had not been cured, she had not changed, but she had endured. And sometimes, endurance itself is victory. As time passed, the story of Amara Kenechi slowly changed in the mouths of the people. What was once mockery became curiosity. What was once rejection became reflection. Children gathered around elders who now told her story differently. She was the woman no man wanted, yet she found love. Amara continued her weaving with quiet pride. Her wrappers were no longer just cloth. They carried meaning. Women who felt unwanted sought her counsel. Men who once laughed now bowed their heads in respect. Though she never bore a child, Amara became a mother of wisdom. She taught young girls that their value was not measured by marriage or childbirth alone. She showed women that love could exist beyond expectations. And through it all, Sadiq Bako never left her side. Time did what arguments never could. It silenced cruelty. One evening, as the sun dipped low over Igbara Odo, Amara and Sadiq sat by the riverside where their journey had once begun. Amara leaned her head on his shoulder and spoke softly. I once thought I was broken. Sadiq smiled gently. You were never broken. The world simply did not understand you. Amara reflected on her life, the rejection, the shame, the forest, the sacrifice. She realized something powerful. She did not return from the tree of truth with a healed body, but she returned with a healed soul. Her story spread far beyond the village, a reminder that love is not defined by perfection and wholeness is not always physical. And so, the woman no man wanted became the woman everyone remembered, not for what she lacked, but for what she chose.
So tell me, what lessons have you actually learned? I would really love to hear your comments in the comment section down below. And remember to support this channel. Please subscribe, like the video, comment, just say something. Even a word could literally mean a whole lot. So I want you to tell me, what lessons have you learned from this story? Trust me, these are situations that most people actually go through. I want to hear how you dealt with the situation that you were faced with.